Unser nächster Gast ist der Abgesandte eines Landes, das ungefähr doppelt so groß ist wie Österreich, ein bisschen weniger Einwohner hat, aber dafür gleich 3 Siebentausender. Er hat eben trotzdem gesagt, dass er sehr, sehr viel lernen kann von der Art und Weise, wie Österreich mit seiner Kulturlandschaft und seinen Bergen umgeht. Er muss heute als Botschafter Entscheidungen treffen, die sehr weit in die Zukunft hineinragen. Sein Land spürt schon heute die Folgen des Klimawandels und darüber wird er heute reden. Schön, dass Sie zu uns gefunden haben. We are very glad to have you here. His Excellency Bakyt Dzhusupov, Ambassador of Kirgistan.
Thank you very much. Dear Burgermeisters, dear heads of the region, dear Dr. Sabine Seidel, dear Frau Christine Muttinen. At the outset, I'd like to thank all of you organizers for a kind invitation to this forum. It's a great pleasure for me to be with you here today. Yesterday, I came from Vienna, and in the evening, I drive through this national park when I was going to a hotel. I stopped for a while, have this fresh air. I was with my family, and I was impressed to see these mountains, to see this snow, to see these glaciers. And I think it's quite symbolic to organize first Anthropozän forum, quite symbolic and really wise to organize the first Anthropozän forum here in this beautiful place. I hope that it will be the first start, and I hope that we will keep going on organizing such events, because the topic is really of crucial importance, not only for Kyrgyzstan, not only for Austria, I think for the whole world. Today I would like to say a bit about Kyrgyzstan, about this challenge in Kyrgyzstan. As you may know, Kyrgyzstan, as it was introduced also, thank you very much, 75% of our territory is covered by mountains. And if we take only 7 highest peaks, so their altitude is ranging from 6,800 to 7.5 thousand meters. So it's quite impressive. So this issue is really of the crucial importance for Kyrgyzstan, as you may imagine. Dear participants, over the last few decades, climate change phenomenon and its implications to our environment and humankind have become one of the most dangerous global challenges. The climate change negatively affects Kyrgyz Republic, that's, as I said, mountains and landlocked country like Austria. We signed Paris Agreement and fully support international efforts in climate change prevention, keeping rise of temperature below 2 Celsius. In Kyrgyzstan, we have determined sectors that are most susceptible to climate change. They can include water resources, hydroenergy, agriculture, healthcare, emergencies, forests, and biodiversity. Today we talked much about the glaciers. That's why we are really gravely concerned about rapid melting of the Kyrgyz glaciers. The Kyrgyz glaciers, which are in Kyrgyzstan, that make up natural storage house of water for the whole region of Central Asia. And it's 65 million of inhabitants. So the water resources, lack of water resources, in some stage it will come to a big problem, as you may imagine, in our Central Asian region. According to some forecasts, a total square of glaciers in our country may shrink on average for 30 to 40% by the year 2025. Such scenario may lead to decrease of water volume in rivers for 25 to 35%. There is also a risk that our glaciers may vanish by the year of 2100. So it's a big problem for us, for Central Asia, and we have to deal with this. But I would like to say a few words also about the Central Asia, the spirit which is existing now in Central Asia. During these last 1.5 to 2 years, we have a really good spirit of cooperation, which we didn't have for the last more than 25 years during our independence. So this case is really makes us to think that the lack of the natural resources, the lack of the water, we can overcome with these issues because we have a common understanding on most of the issues in the region. So it's a good sign also for the international community where we have now see the rise of the tensions in various areas. Another risk is associated with disappearances of unique species in biodiversity of our mountainous ecosystem. For instance, since 1990s, snow leopards start to face extinction. In order to preserve them around the world, Kyrgyzstan initiated and held the first international forum in 2013. Last year, in August, we held such a forum for the second time that ended with adoption of the regional project on preservation and increase of snow leopard species. Besides, ministers and high-ranking officials from 12 countries where the snow leopard now still exists, adopted the Bishkek Declaration, which is calling also regional organizations, international organizations, and international community to support this idea. The temperature rise on Earth caused a rise in frequency of floods, landslides, and avalanches in our mountainous region. In this connection, I want to underline the existing risks related to uranium tailings in Kyrgyzstan that are inherited from the Soviet nuclear program and are located near rivers. We are afraid that those uranium tailings may be disturbed by the unexpected natural calamity that may lead to radioactive contamination of localities and trans-border rivers, put at risk lives and health of millions of people in Central Asia. Therefore, we are working on projects aimed at making those uranium tailings safe and secure. For instance, in 2013, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution dedicated to problems of the Soviet uranium heritage in Central Asia. The draft resolution was proposed by Kyrgyzstan. The results of 4-year work on resolution implementation were examined last year in September during the high-level meeting, People and Planet Central Asia Calls for International Solidarity, which was held in New York on the premises of the UN General Assembly. The event was organized jointly by the Kyrgyz government and the European Union. We are confident that the meeting will foster implementation of new programs and collective measures on recultivation of uranium tailings. Taking this opportunity, I would also inform you all that we are Kyrgyz nomads, and we know the unity of person and the land, the unity of the person and the steppes, the unity of the person and the mountains, the rivers. So in this regard, in 2014, we initiated World Nomad Games. The first one held in 2014, and taking this opportunity, I would like to inform you that this year in September, we are hosting the third World Nomad Games. It will be a big event. The presidents of Central Asian countries, Prime Minister of Hungary and others will also present in this. By the way, I will say maybe a little secret, and Frau Christina Mutenen is also coming to World Nomad Games. So I would like to invite you all to be the part of this big international event. It's about preserving the nature. It's about the community, communication between people and the landscape. It's about the connectivity between people. If we see now a big tension, a big policy, also in Olympic Games we've seen, but Nomad Games is some kind of Olympic Games, but it's more traditional. It's more about culture. It's more about the heritage, which will preserve to our younger generations. So thank you very much, and thank you very much once more for the invitation. I invite you all to Kyrgyzstan, and good luck on the forum. Thank you.